Strolling down the hall, I noticed the door to my room was left open. As I turned to look inside, Rusty rolled out, nearly running me over.
I apologize, sir.
No worries. I suppose it takes some time getting used to having another crew member on board.
Indeed, sir, though there have been 3 before you.
I waited for Rusty to continue. Whenever you're ready to tell me. This happened to be one of my first true attempts at sarcasm. I should have saved it for someone other than a robot.
First, there was Pukta, the Destroyer. He was the word kind and loyal. I believe you were nearly killed by him in the asteroid city Saradodi.
The creature that tried to crush me to death with a stick?
You did smile at him, sir.
Fair enough.
Then there was Tobaz. He was sucked out of the garbage chute.
What a horrible accident.
It was not an accident, sir.
Rusty's eyes lit up. He appeared to study me, searching for a reaction to his words.
Last was Gavone.
And he left because...
Not enough quality food on board, sir. I dropped off a fresh change of clothes on your cot. They should help to make you feel the word cozy. I have also left my master's personal journal on your makeshift desk. I was ordered to remind you to read entry 0 and to get it right this time.
Get what right?
My master was referring to your reading about Fen, sir.
She knows I read the wrong page? Was she mad?
My master used the word disappointed, sir.
Rusty rolled out the door and motored down the hall. I was glad to hear that the female Earthling wasn't mad at me for reading the wrong chapter, but I knew better than to take advantage. This time, I would make sure to get it right and read the proper chapter. But even though I was anxious to read her journal, I was more anxious to figure out what had drilled up my nose earlier. I climbed onto my bed, pried the small crate from off the ceiling, and opened the lid. The transparent ball of fog still rested inside, but as I reached in to grab it, the ball of fog dashed from the box and hovered just above my nose. I wondered how this strange thing and the device in my head were connected. Feeling a bit foolish, I attempted to move the hovering ball of fog with my mind. I whistled, I whispered. I even tried singing to it. Nothing worked. In frustration, I snatched it from the air and placed it in my pants pocket. I grabbed the female Earthling's journal, hopped onto my cot, rubbed my hand over the gears, then leaned in to speak. Entry 0. The journal snapped open and flipped itself to the proper page. This entry was less organized than the others. In fact, it was quite the mess. Scribbles and doodles abound. Sections of the paper were roughly torn. Others seemed to be written under extreme duress. One thing was certain. This boogeyman kept the female Earthling up at night. And its name was Kilroy. Transcribed from the female Earthling's journal. Journal entry 0. Kilroy. Responsible for the extinction of at least 8 species and 3 civilizations? Third eye added to forehead after Yontal Rebellion. The Red Triangle. Life Enders. Renegade robots loyal to Kilroy adapted the Red Triangle, eyes in each corner, as a symbol of rebellion against their fleshy overlords and a show of allegiance toward Kilroy. My first contact with Kilroy was on the mining moon known as Testa.
10,000 slave miners were scheduled for eradication due to an outbreak of an undetermined plague. Kilroy and his horde of life enders were brought in by the Taranka to do the job. They took no time getting to work. Those already sick with the plague had it easy, left to die underground in dark, musty rooms. The terror lied with those still healthy. Those poor souls were subject to abuses I wish to forget. Kilroy is smart. He does his homework. He knows what you fear most, and he uses it against you. The Luddites fear having their tails cut off, so Kilroy forced them to cut off their own tails and strangle each other to death with them. The long-living Armasols, fear of tight places, were crammed into boxes too small to stand and buried alive, upside down. The Fanatas, extreme fear of heights, were impaled and left to die slowly, high above the ground on 100-foot pikes. Everyone waited with dread for their turn to come up, except for me and one other, a hired guard named Gavone. God promised to help me escape if I promised to stop Kilroy from taking his head, what God feared most. I promised. God set me free, then led us to a tool shed in Sector 4. We grabbed what we could to help in our escape, then snuck toward Kilroy's ship, doing our best to go unnoticed. Kilroy noticed. God lost a finger detonating a dark matter bomb. We fought back, and I managed to damage Kilroy's leg with my blade. We fled in the ensuing chaos. Several life enders tried to stop us, but failed. A brief sprint down a narrow crevasse led us to Kilroy's vessel. We quickly commandeered Kilroy's mighty ship, skipped to a barren moon, and lived amongst the Yo plant for some time. God did not enjoy the local food. The biggest mistake I've ever made was not finishing Kilroy off that day. He's grown stronger, and somehow he discovered my identity and where I'm from. He seeks revenge and seeks to destroy me and the planet I came from. I will never let that happen.